Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam, Dandavad Pranam. So we are actually at a very interesting pastime that is going on. So Daksha had been killed by Veerabhadra, and his head actually has been offered into the fire of sacrifice. And so Daksha, there's no head now for Daksha as well, and Daksha is not alive. So, and Daksha is a Prajapati, and so the universe requires a Prajapati to run. So all the Devatas, demigods, along with Brahma, they go to Kailash, and here now they are trying to pacify Lord Shiva by prayers. So can you open for text 46? Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhuji, it's a wrong chapter. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
No, it is correct, Mataji.
Yeah, it is correct. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Navai satam tvak charanarpita manam bhuteshu sarveshu abhipasyatam tava bhutani chatmani apratididiksamam prayena rosho bhavavid yata pashum. Translation. So here, my dear Lord, devotees who have fully dedicated their lives onto your lotus feet certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every being. And as such, they do not differentiate between one living being and another. Such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger, like animals who can see nothing without differentiation. Anyone want to read the purport?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please may I?
Yes, please. Yeah.
When the Supreme Personality, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes angry or kills a demon, materially, this may appear unfavorable. Spiritually, it is a blissful blessing upon him. Therefore, pure devotees do not make any distinction between the Lord's anger and his blessing. They see both with reference to the Lord's behavior with others and themselves. A devotee does not find fault with the behavior of the Lord in any circumstances. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gaivi Hastini Suni Cheva Swapakaicha Pandita Samadarshina. So, a Pandita, a learned, a wise person, sees that the super soul is in everyone's heart and then treats everyone equally. So, again, and also here, one interesting, important point that's being discussed is when Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes angry or kills a demon, materialistically this may appear unfavorable, but spiritually it's a blissful blessing onto him. Why, you might wonder? Because actually, when Lord killing someone is not out of real anger, the Lord doesn't get affected by the material modes. If you can recall, in the first canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, we've seen who's that? Ashwadama. Ashwadama was caught, and then Arjuna and Krishna, they are discussing what to do with Ashwadama now that he's been caught. And then at that time, it is explained that Arjuna's eyes have actually become red, like they are glowing, with copper red eyes. And whereas Krishna's eyes are like Ambujakshana, his eyes are like just like lotus, which means that even though Krishna is angry, still he is not affected. So whenever someone is affected by anger, you can see that in their face, in their eyes, and things like that. But the Lord is actually he's always absolute in any stage. His anger is not like the normal anger of a conditioned living entity, which who are affected by three modes of material nature. And because he is absolute, his anger and pleasure both are the same. So therefore, even when he is angry, the object of anger is blessed and is unchanged in all circumstances. So generally it is said that Lord tolerates if someone does anything nasty or he tolerates to him. But if someone does something to his devotees, then Lord expresses his displeasure, his anger. But even in that situation, not only the devotees are blessed, even the demon who's been killed also is blessed. For example, we can see here Krishna actually in the first canto, he directly says that Arjuna just kill Ashwadama. He is actually encouraging and he's seeing what Arjuna is going to do. But as you know, Paramatma, super soul is in everyone's heart. So Arjuna won't kill Ashwadama. And he says, okay, let us take him back to Draupadi and see what she has to say. And then when they take him back to Draupadi, then Ashwadama is released. And similarly, we see Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. So Lord is angry that Hiranyakashipu is causing so much problems to Prahlad Maharaj. So that's why he comes and he kills. And what happens? Hiranyakashipu gets killed, but he gets this liberation. Similarly, Kaliya serpent. Kaliya serpent, Lord punishes. And then after the punishment, Kaliya actually becomes reformed. And also Putana. Putana, she comes to kill the Lord. But then she is killed and she gets liberated. And similarly, we see so many other things like Shishupala. And also we see this, what is that demon? Snake demon? What is the snake demon?
Kali also can take.
Kalia.
Kaliya is there, and then this other Agasura. Even when Agasura was killed, he gets impersonal liberation. His soul actually goes and merges into the body of the Lord. So that is the nature of the Lord's. The Lord's anger actually elevates a soul, a demoniac soul, to a better position. And because the Lord's touch is so pure and potent that it's got a purifying effect, even on the object of anger. So, and then generally it is said, same thing you can see. Actually, it is said that as spiritual beings, Atma, soul, the quality of anger is not a part of our soul. So where is this anger coming from? This anger is actually coming from a manifestation, from the consciousness. So similarly, we see Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev also in the battlefield. Bhishmadev is actually making Krishna angry. So it's a beautiful Bhishma Stuti, beautiful verses. Iti mati rupa kalpita vitrishna bhagavati shashvata pungave vibhumni swasukam upagate kvachit vihartum prakrutum upeyasi yad bhava pravaha. So what is Vishwadev saying? Vishwadev actually is fighting so ferociously that made Krishna angry. And then Krishna broke his promise. He broke his promise and he takes up a chariot wheel as a weapon and he goes to attack Bhishma. And when Bhishma is giving up his body, he is actually uh, reminiscing all this wonderful form of Lord Krishna he has seen. At the time of his passing his body, he's saying that let me invest my thinking, feeling, willing, which were so long engaged in all the different subjects, occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world. And although from him only material world is created. So this is about the Lord's qualities. Yeah, we can go to the next verse. Oh, sorry. Also, one more thing is, so a devotee doesn't never find a fault with the behavior of the Lord in any circumstances. So they say that how is that Lord acted in this way? No, how can Lord become angry? Or whatever happens, the devotees think that it is actually the will of the Lord. So, and also when something wrong happens to the devotees, they think that why the Lord is actually not looking after me or things like that. This famous prayer, Tattenu Kampam Sutsamikshamano Bunjanu Evatma Kutam Vipakam Udvagvapur Hrutadam Namaste Jive Tayo Mukti Pade Sadayabak. So this Brahma is saying that, my dear Lord, your devotees are so wonderful that if something bad happens in the life of a devotee, then the devotee thinks that, okay, this is happening because of my past karma. And Lord is so merciful that he actually reduced this karma for me so that I am able to tolerate this, able to bear this calamity. And then when something good happens, then the devotee prays that, my dear Lord, whatever is happening, it's because of your mercy. And then Lord Brahma is explaining that these people, they're going back to spiritual world is almost like their birthright. So yeah, okay, we can go to the next verse.
Hare Krishna. Prashanti Mataji can read the verse and Krishnamurti Prabhuji the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prataddiya karma drisho durashayaha parodayena hruda nisham parandurukte vidurtantya rudantada satan tada sanmavadhitvai bhavadhan bhavatvi vidaha. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat
Hare
pranam.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji.
Dhanavad
Translation,
Pranam.
Dandavat pranams Prabhuji. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Persons who observe everything with differentiation, who are simply attached to fruitive activities, who are mean-minded, who are always pained to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus give distress to them by uttering harsh and piercing words, have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji. Shall I read purport, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Persons who are materialistic and always engaged in fruitive activities for material profit cannot endure seeing the flourishing life of others. Except for a few persons in Krishna consciousness, the entire world is full of such envious persons who are perpetually full of anxieties because they are attached to the material body and are without self-realization. Since their hearts are always filled with anxiety, it is understood that they have already been killed by providence. Thus, Lord Shiva, as a self realized Vaishnava, was advised not to kill Daksha. A Vaishnava is described as paradhukka dhukki. Because although he is never distressed in any condition of life, he is distressed to others in a distressed condition. Vaishnavas therefore should not try to kill by any action of the body or mind, but should try to revive the Krishna consciousness of others out of compassion for them. The Krishna consciousness movement has been started in deliver the envious persons of the world from the clutches of Maya, and even though devotees are sometimes put into trouble, they push on the Krishna conscious movement in all tolerance. Lord Chaitanya advises. तृणादपि सुनीचेन तारोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मनदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः. One claim chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street, and one should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all these senses of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Shikshashtaka 3. A Vaishnava should follow the examples of such Vaishnavas as Haridasa Thakura, Nityananda Prabhu, and also Lord Jesus Christ. There is no need to kill anyone who has already been killed. But it should be noted herewith that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blaspheming of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate personal insults to himself. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranams Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, this verse. Palosmin loka kshaya krit pravruddo lokan samakrutam iha pravrutta krute pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve yavatishta pratyinukeshu yoda. 11.32. So the Lord is saying, time I am destroyer of the world, and I have come to engage all people, with the exception of few Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So this is Krishna coming as a Kala Rupa. And then even if no one does anything, Krishna comes as Mutyu Sarva Haras Chaham. He comes as a death, and then he takes away everything. So actually, there is one interesting verse from 10th canto also. There is chapter 4, 10th canto, Atrocities of King Kamsa, where it said that persons with a vision of differentiation are imbued with the material qualities of lamentation, jubilation, fear, envy, greed, illusion, madness. So, what is the difference between a devotee and a demoniac or a non-devotee person? The demoniac people are influenced by the immediate cause, which they are busy contracting. There is they are always, what do you call that? Firefighting. They are always trying to douse the firefighting, because they don't know the knowledge of the remote cause. So in the 10th canto, Krishna, Kamsa is actually taking his sister Devaki in a nice procession along in a chariot, and everything. It's wonderful. Everything was going on wonderful. And then suddenly Akashvani comes and tells, "Oh my dear Kamsa, this 8th child of your sister is going to be cause of your death." Immediately after hearing that voice, Kamsa is ready to kill his Devaki. He grabs her by the hair and he was about to kill her. So this is the nature of a demoniac person. Actually, Sarva Karana Karanam, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadi Adil Govindam Sarva Karana Karanam. So for everything, the ultimate cause is the Supreme Lord. And because the demoniac non-devotees, they don't have the knowledge of the remote cause, Adrishta, they get busy in trying to do the firefighting or busy contracting. So whereas just like a doctor, a physician, expert physician, what he does, when someone goes to the physician, He's not so much worried about the symptoms. My head is paining, eyes are paining, my neck, and all that. These are all symptoms. He looks into what is the actual cause of this. Why? What is happening with you? So, do you have spondylitis, or do you know all these things? And then he tries to cure that cause. Similarly, a devotee is not disturbed by the reverses in life. So he sees whatever is happening, that is happening due to the Lord's and then his own karma. So, so that's why non-devotees or demonic people, their hearts are always filled with anxiety because continuously they are trying to do this firefighting. So, and also there is one more nice words here. This is again from 10th canto. 10th canto, 4th chapter, Kamsa's atrocities by King Kamsa, 46 words. Ayushriyam yashodharman lokan ashesha evacha antishreyamsi sarvani pumso mahat atikramaha. So here, this Vasudeva is explaining to Kamsa. He's saying, my dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity, beauty, fame, religion, blessings, and promotion to the higher planets will be destroyed. So similarly, when someone offends a Vaishnava, their lifespan is destroyed. It's gone. So and then so that's why here it's also Jesus Christ in Bible. He says Jesus Christ says very interesting verse. It says, when is this? When Jesus Christ was put on the cross. When Jesus was put on the cross and he was crucified, blood is coming out from his body and there's pain and everything happening. And then the soldiers who have crucified him in the final crucifixion, they were actually fighting for the clothes, the dress that Jesus Christ was wearing. And they actually had a competition. They were playing dice to see who's going to win the dress, who's going to win the shirt, who's going to win the pant, or things like that. No, so they are not even bothered about a person is being a great person is being punished like this. So Jesus is saying, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. So this is the nature of a devotee. The devotee is so merciful that he actually wants good for everyone. Uh, and then Prabhupada is explaining in the last chapter, Vaishnava should follow the examples of such Vaishnavas as Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, and Lord Jesus Christ. There is no need to kill anyone who has already been killed, but it should be noted herewith that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blaspheming of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate the personal insults to himself. See, for example, Bhrigu Rishi goes to Vaikunta and kicks on the chest of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is not affected, he is not angry. In fact, he starts massaging the feet of Bhrigu Rishi and saying, my dear sage, I think my chest is very strong, and then your feet are so soft. Maybe your feet have been got hurt. He's massaging the feet of the rishi. Whereas when Ambarish Maharaj was attacked by this demon created by Durvasa, immediately Sudarshan Chakra started following him. And then when Durvasa came to Vishnu himself, Vishnu said, I can't do anything about it. No, I can't do. You just go and take ask forgiveness from Ambarish himself. So that is the nature of the Lord. And Prabhupada is explaining. Similarly, we should be like that. We should actually tolerate. If someone says something to us, we should tolerate. We should understand that if someone is saying something bad, then we have to understand that our bad karma actually is getting cleansed. It is going away. And where is it going? the karma is actually going into the other person who is blaspheming us. And then we have to tolerate. But if someone actually blasphemes Lord Vishnu or other Vaishnavas, then one should retaliate like anything. Thank you. Next verse, 48.
Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, you can read the shloka and the translation. I'll do the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yasmin yada pushkaranavamaya durantaya sprashtadhiya pratak trishaha kurvanti tatra hi anukampaya kripam nasadavo daiva balat krute kramam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, if in some places materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Godhead sometimes commit offenses, a skeptic person with compassion does not take this seriously. Knowing they commit offenses because they are overpowered by the illusory energy, he does not show his prowess to counteract.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that the beauty of a tapasvi or saintly person is forgiveness. There are many instances in the spiritual history of the world in which many saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. Parikshit Maharaj, for example, was unnecessarily cursed by a Brahman boy, and this was very much regretted by the boy's father. But Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse and agreed to die within a week as the Brahmana boy desired. Parikshit Maharaj, sorry, Parikshit Maharaj was the emperor and was full in power, both spiritually and materially. But out of compassion and out of respect for the Brahmana community, he did not counteract the action of the Brahmana boy, but agreed to die within 7 days. Because it was desired by Krishna that Parikshit Maharaj agree to the punishment so that the instruction of Shrimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world, Parikshit Maharaj was advised not to take action. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam Prabhu.
Thank you, Mother. Yeah, so it's a nice verse. Tiraskruta vipralabdha sapta kshipta hata api nasti patikurvanti tadbhakti prabhavopi sahi. A devotee tolerates. Devotees of Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. No? So, as Prabhupada was explaining in this purport, Shamik Rishi, Shringi cursed Maharaj Parikshit. And then, as soon as Shamik Rishi came to know about this, he was very sorry. And then he said that you should not have actually cursed Maharaj Parikshit like this. No? Because it is said that even the devotees of Lord, they have the power to counter curse. Even though it is said that even though a devotee may not be a Brahmana, then still a devotee is more powerful than a Brahmana. But this powerful devotee never misuses the power for personal benefit. So whatever the power the devotees have, they always utilize in service towards the Lord and the devotees only. There is a nice verse from Subhashitam. It said, Narasya Baranam Rupam, Narasya Baranam Rupam, Rupasya Baranam Guna, Gunasya Baranam Jnanam, Jnanasya Baranam Kshama. So, beauty is like an ornament, a decoration to a human being. If someone looks beautiful, then everyone notices him. Oh, how nice he is! How beautiful is he? Like that. So it's a beauty is like an ornament to a human being. But guna, good qualities are actually an ornament of the beauty. Means if someone is actually beautiful, but whatever the things they are doing, they are all nonsense. So, and we can see that, so many beautiful people in the world, our Bollywood, for example, they're so beautiful, but then the things that they do is horrible, some of them. So then that's why it's saying that good qualities, guna, is actually ornament of the beauty. Otherwise, the beauty has no meaning. Similarly, knowledge, jnana. Jnana is like an ornament of good qualities. Means someone who's got a proper knowledge, what is the right thing to do, what is wrong, that is actually decoration for ornament. And then it is said that jnanasya varanam kshama. This quality of forgiveness is the ornament of the knowledge. Otherwise, if someone doesn't have this knowledge, this quality of forgiveness, then there is no point for him to actually have the knowledge. Because what is the use of knowledge? What is the use of a knowledge if it doesn't know that in every living entity there is super soul is residing? And what is the use of knowledge if it doesn't know what is the right thing? That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tasmak Shastram Pramanante. So you should know what is actually right and what is wrong as per the Shastras. So that's and what else Prabhupada says. And then we are seeing so many people in our scriptures, they are forgiving. For example, just now we discussed about Amrish Maharaj. When Amrish Maharaj, when Durvasa went and was asking forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj was so embarrassed. He said, "My dear sage, you are actually a Brahmana. You're not supposed to ask forgiveness from me." Like that. So he immediately forgave. Similarly, Draupadi, even though all the Upapandavas have been killed, as soon as she saw Ashwadama, she felt, because she's a mother and she know the pain of losing a son. So she thought that this Ashwadama is the son of uh, my husband's guru's wife. So she should not also feel similar way like the way I'm feeling. So she said, just forgive him, don't kill Ashwadama. So like that, we have seen so many instances where devotees are very forgiving in nature. So anyone can think of any other instances of forgiveness. Of course, Maharaj Parikshit also, he did not contract and he just forgave this Brahmana boy, because he would have easily counteracted the curse of this Brahmana boy, and then he would have lived happily forever. But then, because Parikshit Maharaj is a devotee of the Lord, and he's actually called as Vishnu Ratha, he has seen the Lord in the womb itself. He had the darshan of the Lord in the womb when he was in his mother's womb, and when this Ashwadama released this astra. What is that astra, Prabhu? Krishnamurti Prabhu, do you know? Ashwadastra, no? Brahmastra. Yeah? What is the astra released by Ashwadama? I think it is Brahmastra.
Brahmastra, Prabhuji.
Brahmastra, no? Yeah. So when Brahmastra came, and then and he could see in the womb that Lord Vishnu actually in a Angushta Matram, in a small fire, and then he's going around making sure that the boy is fine. So Parikshit Maharaj understood that, okay, this curse is a blessing, like a blessing to me. Now I think I need to go back to, so that I can go back to the spiritual world quickly. And also because of this, accepting this curse, Shrimad Bhagavatam was spoken, and then a whole world would actually get benefit from this Shrimad Bhagavatam. So this is the nature of forgiveness. Similarly, we've seen even Prabhupada, he was so forgive. He forgave so many people. Hippies, he used to train all the hippies, and then they're all drug addicts. And some people, even though they are taken after taking initiation and all that, they would go back to their normal routine. And then after a while, they would realize their mistake. They'll come back and they'll ask for forgiveness. Prabhupada, please forgive, I'll not go back again, like that. And Prabhupada would just accept them. And similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai and Madai, one of the brothers, he actually threw this a brick on his, and blood started coming from his forehead. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got angry and he was able to invoke Sudarshana Chakra. And then Nityananda Prabhu said, asked for forgiveness for those two brothers. So, and then similarly, we have seen this case of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, actually, he was Ramchandra Khan. Ramchandra Khan sent a prostitute to blaspheme Haridas Thakur. But then what happened? Haridas Thakur reformed that lady. And then she became, actually, by hearing chanting of Hare Krishna mantra by Haridas Thakur, she became completely transformed. And then Haridas Thakur left his ashram, his tulsi plant, everything, and then he just went away without saying anything. So this is like the devotees. That's the nature of the devotees. Yeah.
Prabhuji, Kalia was also forgiven. He was asked to leave the space.
Yes, Kalia, actually, yeah. Actually, Shrimad Bhagavatam, we can see so many cases like this, mistakes and being forgiven. So, okay, we go next verse.
Chandana Mataji, you can read the verse. Padma Mataji, the translation. Suma Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, pranams Prabhu.
Thanks.
Bhavam supumsa paramasya mayaya durantaya spristamati samastadruk taya hatatma svanukarma chetasva anugraham kartumiharhasi Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, you are never bewildered by the formidable influence of the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you are omniscient and should be merciful and compassionate towards those who are bewildered by the same illusory energy and are very much attached to fruitive activities. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. A Vaishnava is never bewildered by the influence of the external energy because he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord states in the Bhagavad Gita 7.14, Daivi hi echa gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamevaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. My divine energy consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. A Vaishnava should take care of those who are bewildered by this Maya instead of becoming angry with them. Because without a Vaishnava's mercy, they have no way to get out of the clutches of Maya. Those who have been condemned by Maya are rescued by the mercy of devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desires who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Those who are under the influence of the illusory energy are attracted to fruitive activities. But a Vaishnava preacher attracts their hearts to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So here again, Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durachaya Mameva Ye Prapatyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So Vaishnava is always taking care, shelter of this energy of the Lord. So, and he's not bewildered. Lord Shiva is called as Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. He's called as the greatest Vaishnava. And then he's never bewildered. There was an instance at one time, Cupid wants to disturb the meditation of Lord Shiva. So Cupid comes and then he shoots his arrows to disturb Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva simply looks at him and he just burns him into ashes. So, and he's not actually bewildered. So that means he doesn't develop any lust or anything by Cupid's arrows or his presence. Interesting, but here, Lord Shiva, you will see in the coming cantos, Lord Shiva at one time gets bewildered by Lord Vishnu, which by Mohini Murti form. But that Mohini Murti form, it is said that is actually it's not a material form, it's a spiritual form of the Lord. And then he requests the Lord actually to show him, and that's how Lord Shiva gets bewildered. Otherwise, Lord Shiva, actually it is said that there's two things which are very difficult to understand. There is one Guru Tattva and Shiva Tattva. These two are these tattvas are actually quite difficult to understand. That how Lord Shiva is actually not a jiva, and also is not a supreme Lord himself. In Brahma Samhita, there's words, it says, Kshiram yata dadi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tata prudagasti heto yasham bhutam api tata samupaiti karyat govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So, just as milk transformed into the curd by action of the acids, yet the effect curd is neither same nor different from its cause. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of work of destruction. He himself attains a distinct personality by the addition of particular element of adulteration. So, so that's why Lord Sadashiva is non-different from Vishnu. But still, just like yogurt is not different from milk. But milk can become yogurt, but the yogurt actually cannot turn back into milk. So similarly, Lord Shiva is a guna avatara of Krishna. And then mode of ignorance and material nature is it get mixed with this thing. So and then but still they are there's it's not considered anything lower. They are actually, in the sense, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they are actually called as like a guna avatar of the Lord Krishna, and they're all equal in a sense. For example, there's a if a government has a department for health, and the government has a department of criminal justice or police or something. So both departments are equal and same in the eyes of the government. It's not that criminal department is anything lower than health department or anything like that. So similarly, Lord Shiva is non-different from the Lord, but still he's not supreme Lord. But because he's a Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, he is never bewildered by the material energy, illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. So, and then here, this Vanchakalpa prayer, offer my respectful obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. So, all these Vaishnava devotees, they are under the influence of this internal energy of the Lord. Whereas people who are under the influence of illusory energy, they are attracted to the fruitive activities. But whereas devotees, they actually see Krishna in everything. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati tasyaham pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. Says in Bhagavad Gita that my devotee sees me everywhere, and I see my devotee everywhere. My devotee neither loses sight of me nor I lose sight of my devotee. So this is the reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees. And that's how the devotees actually sustain their life. So we'll stop here. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Any questions? Subbarao Prabhu, is this for question or for reading?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Pranams Prabhuji. My one doubt, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Doubt means one clarification at our end, Prabhuji. Thing is, before coming to this Krishna consciousness, we used to, there is an action, and then we used to react next moment. So, after coming to this Krishna consciousness, and then hearing the classes, Bhagavatam classes, we can able to identify the modes, influence of modes, and then thing is, now it is little bit we think a while whether we have to react or not. But thing is, even in my houses, outside if we step out from my house to from their place, so people were they were not aware of all those things. But thing is, we can able to little bit we can able to identify the fact what is going on, how that person is like that, what we have to do. Something it harms us. So how to deal with them, or otherwise we have to kept silent also sometimes. If not, if we by influence of the Rajoguna or Tamaguna, we also used to react to them. So how it now in generally, you please give me the one simple formula while in house or in outside. So how we have to being just because we are also influenced by the three material modes, is it not? So that is my you at your end. I request this clarification and the best direction or salvation. Anything you feel, Prabhuji, you please give me. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I'll try to give you. I'm not an expert, but no, actually, the best way is we should always take shelter of the Lord. We should always be taking shelter of the Lord, remembering the Lord, remembering Guru in every circumstance. Christians, Catholic Christians, they wear a cross. It's got W, W, J, D. WWJD means the pendant will have WWJD. What it means is, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? So when anything, for any situation, they think that I'm not acting. If Jesus Christ was there, what would Jesus do? Similarly, the reason why we are studying all these shastras and everything is to actually understand that we are not the body. And the moment we understand that we are not the body, then what should we do? We should become an observer. We should see the thoughts, everything coming and going out. You should become an observer and see what they are actually, like the mind is like a child, and it's always demanding, you give me this one, you give me that one. It will never keep you calm. So if you keep on listening to your mind, then you become crazy. So what you do is just ignore it. Just ignore it. One time what happened, Lord Buddha was going with his disciples, and then there was a lake, and then because they are walking, some stones fell into the lake, and Buddha stopped there, and he was sitting, and he said, can you get some water for me? And the disciple went and they got some water. And because just then the rocks and everything fell in the water was muddy. The disciple was apologetic and saying, Maria Buddha, the water is muddy. And Buddha said, don't worry, just wait for 10 minutes and then go and drink the water again. So he goes after 10 minutes, and then the water is clear. So Buddha explains that if you just, that's like our mind, So the mind is actually agitated, but if you just wait for it to settle down, then it becomes like a clear water. So Pranadapi Sunichena Tarodapi Sahishnuna Amanaina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadahari. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that this verse is every Vaishnava should wear it like a kanti mala. He should wear it. You become humble, uh, like a blade of grass, and then become tolerant like a tree. In that state of mind, you can actually chant incessantly. Otherwise, what happens is then our ego comes up, and then our functional identities come up. Means when you go to some circle or somewhere, your functional identity comes up. Oh, I am eldest of my all my relatives, so they should respect me. Or I am an IT professional, so they should respect me. Or I am more knowledgeable. So this identity, the functional identities, actually they pop up and they fill our false ego. But by following these two things, Tranadapi Sunichena Taradapi Saisnuna, we become all humble, and then we are able to remember the Lord constantly. And then once remember the Lord, then you won't get agitated and you won't make any. Uh, you become humble and you become tolerant, forgive other people, and then you tell them if depending on the situation, and if you think they are in a position to listen, you will tell them. Otherwise, you will just ignore them and then do your duty. Be happy. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
100% okay, Prabhuji. Thing is, we have to implement it, and then what your kind self has told, tolerance and forgiveness.
Yes.
Be calm.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Prabhuji. So it is to be. I just by this moment I will experience it and feel it and do it, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for this. So this verse is important. Ranadapi sunichena tarodapi sahisnuna amanena manadina kirtaneya sadahari. So tolerant like a tree and humble like a blade of grass. So what does grass do? Someone steps on it, doesn't say anything, and someone moves away, it will again come back. So like that. Yeah. Thank you,
Prabhuji, Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji, thank you.
Krishna. Can we take one more question? There's one question in the chat. Suma Mataji has asked, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's better. Shilpa Mataji, Suma Mataji, can you ask it?
Hare
You're not
Krishna,
going to
Mataji.
read. Ah,
Yes,
yeah, that's
Mataji.
better.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Because every day I ask Mataji, I just thought that let
No
me know.
problem at all, Mataji.
Hare
This
Krishna.
platform
Thank
is
you
for
so much,
question and answers.
Mataji.
Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji, I
Krishna.
just wanted to, I have seen Prabhuji, before coming to Bhakti also, we have seen that many people saying that you just see, I'll just curse them like that. So I just wanted to, I'm just curious. Normal people also they say when they are in anger, they just curse the other person. So I just wanted to know, even that curse is so powerful, will that ever become true, Prabhuji? So I just wanted to know, Prabhuji.
There is a saying in Bengali. Uh, the saying is Shekuni shape kare garu mara nahi. Means the vulture, it's flying high in the sky, and then it's looking at this cow on the ground, and then it's cursing the cow. You die, you die, you die. So that why? Because if the cow dies, the vulture can come and eat it. Similarly, people they curse, but then if they don't have their piety or anything, it won't have any effect. No effect at all. If they have some piety or something and they have some, but still anyway, for devotees, it actually doesn't matter, whatever it is. Whatever you're talking about curses, Mataji, black magic, white magic, and all those tantras, nothing will work. No. So, so you don't need to worry. They are just like vultures. They are saying, let this cow die, let this cow die, but nothing happens to the cow. When the time comes, the cow gives up his body. That's all, not because that vulture is saying something like that. So like that, you don't need to worry about what other people do. But what is important is we have to be spiritually strong. So, and then if we are spiritually strong, then nothing can actually disturb us in it. Because it's not only people, it's so many things in the world can disturb us. I have a colleague who would tell me that when it's summer times, I noticed that we means he's telling about himself and his wife. Said I noticed that we fight more. We fight more because we get disturbed with the weather, and we become just annoyed, and then we start fighting. So people get even affected by the weather. So many things in this world. No? So don't worry. Yeah,
Hare
this is Dr.
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. In connection with this, I'll just have one other question, Prabhuji. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj also, when he was doing spiritual, I mean, some under the tree, I have heard this, Prabhuji. I'm not clear actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was some trouble like this also for him also, black magic or something. So whenever there is something that we take up some good thing like practicing bhakti, there are Hiranyakashipu forces around us that will trouble us. So I have heard this from Srila Prabhupada lectures, Prabhuji. So I just wanted to know, like as soon as we start bhakti, those start troubling us. So I just wanted to know more about this, Prabhuji. How is it like? Does the devotees also become victims? Because before we come to bhakti, there was no trouble like that. So after coming to bhakti, why it happens, Prabhuji? Like we just
It's yeah. There's two things. One is, of course, people become envious. They think that, oh, this person is becoming devotee, so he's I can see more happy than before, and he's not no longer worried about what is happening in this world. Or like, for example, you have some friend or somebody. Previously, you would go to them and talk about all the nonsense, like movies or saris or something like that. But now you just say, Krishna said this in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said in this Bhagavad Gita. We went to that program. The feast was so nice. Class was so nice. And then the other person is, oh, what's wrong with this guy? You know. And then he becomes. They develop this envy, and then they start thinking bad about us. But that's natural. And also, it is said that. Actually, there's I heard from a sannyasi. He was telling he's doing parikrama of Vrindavan, and then suddenly a drunkard stopped him, and he said, "Oh, you're a Babaji. Can you see that marble deity of the Lord Krishna?" He showed in Vrindavan. There is temple everywhere, so there was a temple, and there was Krishna marbles deity of Krishna. Can you see? I said, and this Babaji said, yes, yes, I can see. And this drunkard said, what is the difference between that and you? And I said, I don't know, he said. And then said, okay, what is the difference between that stone and the flooring there? So the deity was marble, and the floor was also marble, in the front. He said, why and Babaji said, I don't know. I still don't know what you're saying. And he's saying that the stone that is standing straight, it has actually tolerated so many chisel, what do you call, by the sculpture. They had to use this nail and chisel to actually make it into a nice shape. So that stone has tolerated. So that's why that stone is standing like that. And then he told this Babaji, you are a Babaji. You should be like that stone. You should never fall down. So similarly, in our life, when we become devotees, we get all these tests. A diamond is stone. It takes a lot of beatings for a stone to actually become diamond. So many, So Krishna is actually trying to make us perfect, and then it takes time. Each beating we have to actually tolerate so that we actually become perfect. So that's how I look at it, Mataji. So two things.
correct.
One is material nature giving us some tests, and then this people forces they are trying to disturb us. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course, he's a very high level. Actually, in what is it, Jagannath Puri, the king. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a punishment, fine to the king of this Orissa, because he saw some mismanagement of funds in the Jagannath temple. So this king was unhappy, and he wanted Bhaktivinoda Thakur to actually die. So he has employed, I think, about 50 or 60 tantrics in his house, and they are continuously chanting the mantras so that Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually dies. And at the end of finishing all the mantras, they said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur should die like that, final sankalpa. Then nothing happened to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but the son of this king, he actually died mysteriously. So that's and also in Shrimad Bhagavatam we see that in the 6th canto, Jada Bharat was some dacoits actually tried to offer him to Kali, and Jada Bharat was a great Mahatma, his Bharat Maharaj in his previous life. So the dacoits, they tried to offer him as a bali to Durga Devi, and the Durga Devi actually, the deity of the Durga Devi breaks open and she comes from inside and she actually kills the dacoit and all his friends because she could not tolerate a Vaishnava being punished. So like that, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. In this,
Yes.
can I understand like that, Prabhuji? Like Maya Devi herself comes and protects the devotees also sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because she's just trying us to put us on the right path. That's it. She's correcting
Yeah.
us. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Sri
So much.
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananya Chintayanto Maye Jana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. So, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. So, he's saying that I am going to preserve what you have and I am going to provide what you lack. So, whenever we get as devotees tests in life, don't worry, the solution Krishna is actually going to provide. Only thing is you should have complete faith that Krishna is actually going to take care of me. Don't go back to the other ways that what if Krishna doesn't take care. No, he is actually going to take care and he's going to preserve what you already have. So Tesham Nityavijuktanam Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. Yeah. Thank you, Mata.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll end the class here. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo
पावनेभ्यो
Vaishnavebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Namo
नमो नमः
Namo the Koti
कोटि
Vaishnava
वैष्णवृंद की जय श्रील
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय
Hare
श्रीमद्
Krishna,
भागवतम की जय
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Lord.
Prabhuji.
Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्णा
Thank you so
प्रभु जी
much,
हरे
Prabhuji.
कृष्णा
Pranams, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Krishna
Prabhu.
to all devotees.
Shall I end the session, Prabhu?
Thank you,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mata. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.